Good evening, good evening. Hello, hello, hello. This is Spirit Journey. Today is Wednesday. I'm sorry, today is Monday. Yes, Monday evening. Let's see. Um, I think it's the 18th. Tuesday, February the 18th, 2019. Yes, good morning out there. Good afternoon, good evening. Yes, hello all. Welcome, welcome. This is Spirit Journey. Hello, viewer. And you can type in the live chat and say hello. Yes, hello. It's good to see you. Yes, welcome. Yes, hello, viewers. Yes, yesterday morning, early yesterday morning, I started this live stream. And while I was doing the live stream about this predictive programming of Hollywood, I was at the 4 or 6 minute marker and my screen froze and the broadcast ended. And so after I realized that what had happened, I put in the comment section of the live stream what had happened and that I would at a later time continue. Well, what I want to say up front to try to bring hope. Yes, interesting. Yes. It's about predictive programming. And I'm showing outside the window. That's what you're looking at right now. And I hope my audio is okay. I have my mic on, my ear mics on. I want to be heard and I want to be heard clearly. I really want to give this message out. What I want to really say up front is that a lot of things that we feel in our heart, our emotions, a lot of things are manipulated. Yes, it is beautiful. Thank you. Yes, a lot of things that we experience is manipulated. We may feel sorrow, pain, anger, or let's say you have friends or even family members, and all of a sudden, there's all this miscommunication. People are maybe mistreating you, dumping on you, disrespecting you, and you wonder, why is this going on? Why all this negativity? Why am I feeling like I'm being targeted? And I want to suggest that some of the things that you're experiencing is to it's not all what you think it is. It's not all what you think it is. And it's really designed to stress you out, to cause anger, to cause chaos, to cause fighting. So it's not all you. But yes, someone could um like tickle you on your side and like a reflex you react. But in part we have control over some of our emotions. And when you feel that something's not really making sense out there, take a deep breath and really say to yourself, really question, hey, am I being manipulated? What's going on? You could be just being manipulated. So, what I call opportunistic events, beings that are there to just screw with your head. So I'm just saying right up front, before I really begin with this live stream, that it's not all your imagination. And sometimes you have things that are there to just mess with you. Some people might call them gremlins. Some people might call them demons, etc. And it's just to pull things out of distortion. I think that's what happened to me yesterday. Yesterday was a really bad day for me, emotionally. And I discovered that some things, it wasn't what I thought. And yes, I was reacting, but then I kept on telling myself, this may be just something, an opportunistic gremlin to take advantage of the situation, to pull you down spiritually. And so I'm reminded about the movie that I watched yesterday morning, early yesterday morning. The name of the movie was called Futureland. It was the first time I ever heard of the movie. Yes, hello. Yes, hello. Good evening. Yes. So I hope this live stream goes without a hitch and that I get my message across. Because I think it's very important. Because I feel that what's happening to me and other people, it's happening all over the world. So I was watching a movie yesterday. I was introduced to the movie from another video. And yes, oh, I should put on my glasses. I hope I have my glasses. I It's hard for me to see the comments. I see that the comments are coming in. So hope I have them. So either way, let me continue. Yeah, I can't find my glasses. But either way, let me just get the message out. Well, the movie, it was the first time I heard the movie, and I was referred to the movie Futureland. The movie came out 5 years ago. And I was recommended the movie from another video I was watching. And in the movie, the clip that they showed really interests me because it entailed what they call a hologram. And this device, this little pin that when you hold in your hand, it creates a, it shows you another dimension, another world within the same world you live in. And when I saw those two things about the hologram and the pin that when you hold in your hand allows you to see in another dimension, I said, I have to get it. So I got it. It's a little over 2 hours, the movie. What I liked about the movie was that it gave a feeling of hope and adventure. The movie was actually made by Walt Disney Studios. Now, in general, I do not like watching anything by Walt Disney because I feel some of the things that it teaches is not really positive. Even though the movie had very, it had information. It's like, I find that many movies, it it's like having an ice cream sundae, and then they put in a turd in it. That's what this movie and a lot of other movies are like. They put in Hollywoodisms, sexuality, but the sexuality involving children. they sexualize children, I feel. They put them in an adult situation or emotions. And this movie clearly had that. But outside of that, the innocence, now for me, children represent innocence. And I think that's why, in part, the Walt Disney Studios utilizes children because it opens up your imagination. Now, the movie had this young boy about the age of 11, and he was a scientist at heart, and he was very, very optimistic. But the essential people in his life, the adults, were very negative to him. Okay. Yes, hello there. Yes, they were very negative to the young boy. And that's another theme with Walt Disney Productions, that they get young children, and the young children disrespect their elders, they disrespect their parents. And so it's really promoting a rebellious spirit among the youth. Yes, yes, exactly. That so I ask myself, why is this? Now, how are children or young people to learn? How are they to learn discipline when movies by Walt Disney teaches to be reckless, to be wild? If you live a life like that, if you're a very young person, you don't reach adulthood. See, that's how it is with predictive programming in Hollywood, because they are teaching the young people to be reckless, to cause them harm. Only a few who really watch it really see through it, but they disguise it to make it look cool. But anyway, with Walt Disney films, of its puke, it also has its positive side of, see, they have to let you know, the system has to let you know what's going on. So they give you a little truth, but a lot of deception as well. So it's our job really when we see films by such, that we have to read between the lines and really gather the essence of it. So here, this movie, Futureland, by Walt Disney Studios, has a little boy about the age of 11. They seem to like the age 11 also in Disney with children. And the number 11 is an occultic number of destruction. But anyway, this young kid has all the optimism. He says something very essential in the beginning of the movie that I really liked. A little girl approached him in a World's Fair that actually did happen in 1964. It's located in Queens, New York City. And this World's Fair, the boy attended by himself, no parent, and it was a device of a flight. It looked like it was like a jet that's inside like a backpack, and he's able to fly with it. And so he goes to the World's Fair in hopes of winning the contest. The contest of those people who have the most innovative inventions for the future that's supposed to bring um, help to humanity. So here, this young boy had all the hope, and when he approached the one of the judges, the judge is very negative, and also key issue with the judge and many other people in this movie is that they're all British. And I thought that was interesting because, see, this is the United States, but you have a British judge of a World's Fair event. And also, there was a little girl. I think the little girl was supposed to be just slightly older than the little boy. She's very precocious. And you discover later on in the movie that she's actually a robot, an AI, I think, very human-like, and she's actually flirting with the young boy. And she asked him a question if he had actually made the device of flight. And he said yes. And she asked like a very like pushy like way, but it was really to discover, for to see what he was really made out of emotionally. And his response was, "Well, I was too um, impatient to wait for someone else to make the invention." And that impressed the young girl. And on the side, in private, she hands him this little pin that you wear, but it was like a magic pin, and it has a bio this biosensor in it. So it only works for who it's designed for. Like I guess they program it, and so when the intended person holds the device in their hand, they get to like a portal. It's a portal, and allows them to see this future land. Thus the movie, and it has a lot of optimism in it. But the young boy gets discouraged. See, he has a little crush on the little girl, and he's trying to impress the little girl. And at some point, when he gets into this new world, this future land world, and they pump a lot of niceties in his head to encourage him. The boy was just looking for encouragement. That's also why he liked the girl, because the girl gave him a sense of hope and encouraged him. But the boy's parent and the person at the World's Fair was very negative. So it turns out that he had made this machine. It was a time machine. And that's also what's very popular in Hollywood movies of the predictive programming. This predictive programming um, is in a lot of other movies, such as the movie Paycheck. It has the actor Dan Affleck in it. The movie The Matrix also, it shows something futuristic. It shows also the end of the world. And again, this movie, Futureland, also shows about the doomsday of the future on planet Earth. In fact, as I said, many movies have that same theme. And this other movie comes to my mind as I remember. Um, it's called They Live. That movie came out in the 1980s. It could have been around 1987, 1986. And that was about these beings that invaded the planet, and they disguised themselves. And also in that same movie, that it was some type of broadcast that was binding the people. It was controlling their thoughts and their behavior. It was predictive programming them to accept their fate. And that is what this current movie that I saw yesterday morning. that you learn at the end of the movie that there's a giant, what looks like a big eyeball, and it's in this future land, and it's setting out signals, broadcasting um, predictive programming to the masses. And somehow the young boy grows up. He is able to, he made some type of machine that um, is watching, it's like different monitors, television monitors in his home. And it like it oversees what's going on in the planet. And I think this man, yeah, he was able to tap into this eyeball sensor in the future world that is predictive programming the past in order to create an outcome of despair and um, its fall. And so all this you learn at the end of the movie. And what also is essential about this machine is that you have some control over it by your mind. Like when it looked helpless in the movie, the girl, I think there was another girl, an older girl, a teenage girl, who also was very optimistic. And it discussed about her life when she was growing up as a little girl. And again, her parents seemed very negative. Uh, she was like maybe 2 years old, 3 years old, and very, very big vocabulary. She knew the stars, the name of the stars in the sky. And the parents are videotaping their little girl named the stars. And the father said, "Why are you so interested in the stars?" And the girl innocently and excitedly says, "Well, I want to someday reach the stars and live on it." She wants to visit there. And then the mother says to her, "Well, what if when you go up there, you find there's nothing? There's nothing there." And then the little girl responds something like this: "What if it's everything?" So she used the mother's words like, "What if nothing's there?" She said, "Well, what if is everything?" So that was the spark for the little girl. But she maintained her optimism. And her own father was a bit of a scientist as well. So it was already like in their genes, and they're very hopeful. And so when the young boy in the movie gets kicked out of this future land, this future time period, because he invented this machine that could tap into the frequency of the negativity, he was kicked out. And you discover that the head of that society was in charge of that World's Fair, and he was actually promoting on the side to have people become negative in their thinking, but his thinking was kind of warped. He thought, hey, the way to encourage humanity is to tell them that they're nothing, etc., and that it might make them work harder. But it didn't. It just continued to make them fall down the slope of despair. So I see that Hollywood has a big part in this. See, just like in the movie, you had many television screens that this young boy was looking at. He was able to build these monitors and he saw all the different broadcasts. Isn't television a broadcast? There are many television screens out there, many different channels, especially now with the what you call um, those satellite dishes. There are thousands of broadcasts that are being watched every day all over the planet. That is programming you to have certain attitudes towards yourself, towards others, and at times can make you feel very pessimistic about life. It creates wars, it creates hatreds, and it's in today. So when I saw this film, it just excited me, the technology, for one thing, about the hologram, because I made a past video about the hologram, that you have holograms that could make you think that certain things exist. They could make you think that, let's say, spaceships, UFOs, aliens, they could put it up in the sky and aim downward on the people and have you believe certain things. They could make you have any mindset. So that's why that interests me so much because, see, the technology and the media are bedfellows. That's what you have to get in this live stream, that the two work hand in hand. And so it makes things that much easier for the destructive entities to manipulate society. And so I'm reminded about these alien life forms that so many people are seeing these days. But these alien life forms could be the ones that are sending out those signals for you to watch on television, or they can tap directly into your mind's eye or your thoughts, could put false thoughts in your head. You ever notice in some neighborhoods how you see people, they all seem to be acting alike? They start to dress alike, and they're doing the same type of thing. They like self-destructive thoughts. Why they're creating the GMOs in the foods? It's to alter your mind through diet. Diet would definitely affect the way you think. You think if you just eat sugar all day that you're going to have good thoughts or you're going to have negative thoughts. See, that's part of it. Technology and movies are hand in hand. You ever go to the movie theater? What do they give you there in the movie theaters? What do they want you to have? Popcorn. What is the most heavily GMO'd food around? The popcorn. It alters your genetics, I was told. And then you slap on that artificial butter. That doesn't help either. And you're watching this movie. So you're eating a GMO food, and then you watch the movie program and make you act a certain way, right? They give you soft drinks also, like soda. What is that? It's predominantly sugar water. So you got the sugar water and the GMO popcorn, and it's all a part of the hypnotic trance that you can get at a movie theater. And it's all about that predictive programming. So they movies like by Walt Disney, the makers of the Walt Disney films, that they always target the youth. You notice with Walt Disney, you think he loved children that much? You think he really, and the current um, Walt Disney, the Walt Disney part, do you think they really love children? Or is it part of the predictive programming? Get the kids when they're young, give them all these make believe characters. Why all these weird characters? Why castles? Why are they so preoccupied with the castle? It's Europeans that have the castles primarily. Western Europe. Who lives in castles? But kings and queens, right? Who are the royalty? Things that I've been hearing about the royal families of Europe, according to David Icke, the researcher from Great Britain, he talks about the royal families of Europe and how they are heavily associated with the those how do you say, those reptiles that he likes to talk about, right? Doesn't he like to talk about that? So you have children that are being programmed, and they're being spoon fed fairy tales about Europe's grandeur of those castles and princess and kings. But who are they? See, if you think a princess is good, then you're going to overlook their true attributes about them. If these kings and queens and princesses in particular are that good, why are they why are they in despair? Look like Princess Diana, the late Princess Diana. She was a princess, but look what happened to her. Don't you notice a lot of the movies, it's all like it pulls you down. Here where I live, you have these backpacks of the princess theme for the girls. How come the boys aren't given the prince? It's just they're targeting the little girls. Well, I can only speculate why they target little girls. Because we're more emotional hearers, and maybe we're more easily susceptible to programming. Do you also notice that the TIs, as it's called, or the targeted individuals, over 70% of the people who are in the targeting program are female? So I think they all go hand in hand. Who runs the family? Who's the growing group in this Western world? The single head of household female. She's in charge of the kids. So that predictive programming is trickling down from her onto her children. So it's like killing two birds with one stone. So it's about control. You watch all the media, the movies, the television programs, which sexualizes children. It holds it takes away the innocence. And once you take away a child's innocence, that's where the real program begins. And it's that much harder for them to break loose. And coincidentally, today, I watched a video of a young woman. She's of German ancestry. She lives in the United States. She was born and raised in the United States. And she, unfortunately, was what they call satanic ritual abuse, SRA. And she gave details and names of her abusers, which were the members of her own family. It was, I had so much compassion for her. How they can take a little girl and sexualize her, beat her, um, have her watch death of children, of infants, and animals. Why is it that they're so vicious with this? Because they're that much hungry in wanting this full of society. Once you get the female, see, you don't even really need the guys. You have the ladies. And they are easily controlled. And then they program their own children. We have to wake up. And so in this movie that I saw about Futureland, they gave a solution. At least I feel that it's the solution. It gave clues, and the main clue is about the device that is sending out these radio waves of some type via satellite, most likely, to brainwash you what you're seeing. But the way around it, according to this movie, is that they were trying to look for what you call dreamers, the people who are in the arts, dancers, performers, singers, inventors, all types of people. And the other thing that I saw in the movie, and I think it's all clues, I was amazed at the end of who the new candidates were, to be given these little pins so that they could enter the, what do you call, the parallel world, that the portal for that future land. And who they used, I was surprised how many, but were Black African people. It showed all different types of people. But I was surprised for the first time that they showed a lot of Black African people. Some of them were like the scientists and people who planted trees and mathematicians. They also showed some Asians as well. But I was amazed, and it encouraged me. And the secret, I think, in all this brainwashing is about optimism. And I'm reminded as I say that when I was a teenager, I could have been 18 years of age. And I met up with a group. They were actually a cult. And luckily, I didn't go to their retreat. But before I found out who they really were, they had a store. They made glass menageries. And they made me a little glass elephant. And they handed it to me and said, Never forget your idealism. See, as a teenager, I faced many obstacles, but at the same time, I had a lot of optimism. I wanted to believe in a beautiful world. I wanted to see beautiful things, and I wanted to associate with people who I felt were optimistic. But life happened to me. But life is happening to me now. And I'm reminded by this movie that, never give up your hope. And here I mentioned about this other movie that is also about predictive programming, the movie Paycheck with Ben Affleck in it. It came out some years ago. And the woman in the movie, the love interest of Brad Pitt in the movie, she kept on saying the same thing. Don't give up so easily. Don't give up. See that with movies, that there are a lot of parallels in movies. They're all saying the same story. They're telling you the same thing. They're telling you that yes, these things are going on, but don't give up so easily. So I tell that to myself right now. Don't give up so easily. What you're experiencing and feeling could be just that predictive programming that is being used upon you to make you want to lose hope. Or let's say they set you up in families, families of negativity, families of people who like to insult you, people who name call you, people who go out the way to disappoint your life, who may call you stupid, all types of names, who make promises to you and then they don't keep them. These things could actually be designed to mess with your head. So when you feel like, wow, why me? Why me? Ask yourself, hey, maybe they see what you're really made out of. Like that little boy in the movie who had so much hope, who had a lot of intelligence, who he didn't need to know exactly how to make it, but he had an idea. And he said, I have hope. And I can continue trying until it works. Have hope. Have hope. And try to find other people who are really optimistic in nature, who just need a little encouragement in life, a little hope to get them back on track. Put in a new scenario. Put in a new song in your heart that tells you that you can create your reality, your dreams, your hope. And I think you can also try to, like in the movie Wizard of Oz. Remember the movie The Wizard of Oz? And the little dog pulled the curtain back and he got a sneak peek what was going on? Well, I'm reminded about something that I think you too, you listeners out there, can get a sneak peek what's going on behind the scenes. And that is with meditation. Okay? I'm not asking you to change your religion or anything like that. I'm just saying you need to try to see behind the screen, behind the curtain, on who is manipulating society. I've been doing some light meditation. It seems to work in the early morning, like when you wake up in the morning from a deep sleep, keep your eyes closed and just relax. Just relax your mind and everything. And I think what's going to happen, you're going to start seeing behind the veil. I've been seeing, I think, what is behind the veil. I've been seeing what looks like machinery, uh, another parallel world, and I've been seeing a lot of geometric shapes. Now, I believe the geometric shapes, it means something. It is like a code, I believe. And it's, I think, to give instruction. And again, I have been seeing things that look like different spacecrafts, machineries, things that really look different, out of this world. I think the only time, again, I'm just speculating here because I don't know, but it always seems like that I cannot seem to see the type of things I see in regular meditations, like a scheduled meditation at uh, your chair, and you're doing a formal meditation. What I see during those sessions is something different, but it's the one when you're waking up from a deep, deep sleep, and you keep your eyes closed, and you just look straight ahead with your eyes closed, and sometimes you see a manifestation of things that, like, is from out of this world. I believe that when we sleep, that you are being programmed by information, by like what the movie that I mentioned, um, about being broadcasted, that it's able to target your mind for you to see and experience certain types of dreams. And when you wake up and you're slipping back into the awake world, there's what I call residue of that other dimension that is bleeding through into this 3D world existence. And it's actually showing you where your mind may actually be when you sleep. Or maybe your whole real essence of who you are, like in the movie The Matrix. And as many of you know in the movie The Matrix, that what they were actually looking at was a computer simulation. And the real them was in a pod. That's what I'm getting at. And that's what I'm getting at with this early morning meditation vision. It's all about, it's, it gives a way of seeing behind the curtain. And I believe that the more you see behind the curtain, the more you be able to understand and maybe have a breakthrough and remove the manipulation from your understanding, to remove it so it doesn't control you. We have to break free from this mental warfare that we're under, from birth to the grave. We have to wake up. I have to wake up. So I share this live stream in hope that if any of you who were feeling down and in the clum about matters, who are being disrespected by society, who's lacking hope, maybe you're one of the special ones, those who are really the true angels of life who are here on this planet to really give hope. We're empaths, we're healers. Our nature is really one of full optimism, but maybe we've gone astray. If you think I've described who you really are, reminding you who your true essence in life is, get back on the right track. Get back on the right track of life, of your life, of hope, of love, self-love. See, if you don't love yourself, it's hard to love others. So start learning to love yourself and learn to open up your heart, because I see that society is trying to take away your heart and to harden it by the things that it shows you, by how you're treated by others. Start thinking of beautiful things. Surround yourself with beauty. And one day you'll break through the chains that are on your neck and ankles and wrists, and you'll be able to break it and become truly free spiritually, and be able to see the true evil that runs this planet, that is run in families. They may be even assigned into families, infiltrate families that have these angels, the true angels of life, who are really the blessings for humanity, who are here just to give encouragement. Let us all encourage each other and and start thinking beautiful things for humanity to reach. Okay? So I hope I made sense in all this. I know it's a long video, but I hope you get the essence of the predictive programming of that Hollywood is imposing on us. The what they call the Illuminati, the secret government that are programming young children to disobey their parents, to sexualize them, to show them violence so that their mind gets corrupted. There's always hope. Just keep telling yourself that there's always hope. And again, put in a new program in your heart, a new program of hope. Make that be your new mantra, that I can achieve. So it doesn't really matter about the materialism. Yes, they use materialism or the lack of it to discourage people. But we're more than just the physical. The body is really nothing. Your real essence is that eternal spirit and soul that's in you. And that's what they want to corrupt. Okay? So know that secret. And the method of trying to break through is through faith, just like in the Matrix with Neo. He broke through the Matrix through his mind. It wasn't his body that saved him. It was his mind. Let us tap into a great mindset. Have a powerful mind. Stop meeting up with like people if you can find them. Start trying to sense them out. And let's form a partnership of dreamers, of visionaries, of kindness and love. If you want to do that with me, let's do it together. Okay? So I wish you all a beautiful, beautiful night. I wish you sweet dreams of beautiful dreams. Start meditating and start tapping into your magic, your personal magic. It's all in your head. It's all in your mind of power and grace. It's all yours for the taking. So, I hope I gave you all an uplift of hope. It's all yours. So take care and enjoy and know that you are eternal and there's no real death in life. Take care, guys. And if you like this video, you love my content out there, please share it with others. You can comment below, give your insights. You could donate to my channel. And to do that, you could go on my channel, Spirit Journey, and on the top right of my banner on my channel, Spirit Journey, is a PayPal Me icon. Just press on it and follow the prompt. Any amount would be appreciated. I thank you all in advance for joining me in hope for humanity to encourage pure love and hope for all humanity. Okay? Take care, guys. Peace and blessing to you all. Bye bye.